My brothers and sisters, what is going on? Steel Sermon in the house. It is Christmas night with another video, and this is Victory Sunday, as I will be talking about none other than Kenny Pickett in my Victory Sunday. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. Links are posted in the box down below. First of all, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I hope that you had a wonderful day. Hope you had a great holiday. Enjoyed it with your family. Enjoyed it with your loved ones. And hopefully yous were good boys and girls this year. But I'll tell you who was a good boy last night. That was Kenny Pickett. And it has me wondering, are you still quitting on Kenny? Are you still doubting him? Are you still not believing in him? Because it's perfectly okay if you don't believe in Santa Claus, but for you to sit down here and say you don't believe in Kenny Pickett, I don't think you're watching this guy play. Did he throw a bad interception last night? Yeah, he did. It was a bad read. He threw it late, threw it right to a Raider defender. It was a bad throw. But I'm talking about how he's able to shake off adversity and not let it get to him. You don't see very many quarterbacks in the league like that nowadays. When Kenny Pickett went out there last night, he was the guy on the team that really, on the entire offense, just felt like, you know what? Someone needs to step up as far as being a leader on this offense goes. And if no one else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. These guys took me 20th overall in the draft as a first-round pick, and I'm replacing Big Ben Roethlisberger, another Pittsburgh icon over here. So I'm going to put the team on my shoulders. So for those people that still don't believe in Kenny Pickett, and you're still doubting him, and you're still denying him, I love to burst your bubble, but you're seeing this guy develop, and you're seeing him evolve into a winner before your very eyes. And it's not so much just the touchdown pass for last night that won the game for us to George Pickens, but it was the way he did it. He was eyeing Pat Freiermuth the entire time, if you look at it, but he saw that it wasn't a good option. Normal rookies like that, they would just be one read type of quarterback. He tried to force it in there. Kenny Pickett also tried to thread the needle earlier in the game. That should have honestly been a pick six, but he got away with a bad throw right there. But that time he learned his lesson. He figured, I'm not going to, in a split second, the NFL's fast. Split second decisions. You need to be able to process a decision in the snap of a finger. And that's what Kenny Pickett was able to do. Saw Pat Freiermuth, not a good option in the end zone. He ain't going to check it down. You're at the goal line. Let's give it to number 14. Number 14 ran a good route there, and I got a great read on him. Tossed it in the end zone. Boom. Game winner. Kenny Pickett is starting to evolve into a winner. And you're seeing it, man. Because let me tell you, did Big Ben always play great? Absolutely not. Big Ben has had some horrible games as a Pittsburgh Steeler, just like every other quarterback has had bad games. It happens. And just like how Big Ben has thrown picks, it happens. But the thing is, when you throw an interception, your back is against the wall as a quarterback. It's up to you to decide, am I going to let this interception define the type of game that I'm having right now? Or am I going to go out there and am I going to try and shake it off? And am I still going to have faith in the team that I can still lead the team to a comeback? Kenny Pickett is a competitor. Like I keep saying every year, going up in that boxing ring, you're going to get knocked down to the ground. You're going to get knocked down to the floor every now and then. And what are you going to do when you get knocked down to the ground? You just going to lay down there and wallow in defeat? Or are you going to get up and keep on fighting and keep on punching your opponent until you knock out your opponent. You saw it with those two very crucial conversions last night under the 2-minute warning when we still had 2 timeouts to go. And then he QB snuck it again on 4th and 1. Very next play, game winner to George Pickens. If Kenny Pickett does not sneak that QB sneak on 4th and 1, we lose the game. That play right there, in my opinion, won us the game. That 4th down conversion right there, that QB sneak, that was the play that won us the game. That set up the game-winning touchdown. And then, of course, Cam Sutton, an incredible diving interception, coincidentally enough, at the 32-yard line. But, to me, Kenny Pickett was the guy last night that stood up, took the reins, and led his team to a comeback. Led his team to victory. And in my postgame last night, I said this too. You can go out there, you can absolutely light up the scoreboard, toss for 350 yards and 5 touchdown passes, or, 400 yards and 6 touchdown passes, whatever. You can have the sexiest night ever, statistic-wise. It could be a fantasy football owner's wet dream that you put out there. But at the end of the day, you don't have to play perfect football to win. Did Kenny Pickett have great stats last night? No, he didn't. But you want to know what? He came through when it mattered most. Would you rather have a guy, so going back to what I was saying, would you rather have a guy that just puts up great numbers and doesn't always translate into wins, but he puts up great numbers consistently? Or would you rather have a guy that has less than fancy numbers, but just finds ways to win? Because, like I said, earlier in the year, I loved Big Ben. He's one of my favorite Steelers to ever play. By far my favorite quarterback I've ever seen play. And aside from toughness, which Kenny Pickett also has, my favorite attribute that Ben had was just playing with ice in his veins. Ben had that clutch gene. We're down a couple points in the 4th quarter. Yeah, we can win. We got Ben. Down by 10 entering the 4th quarter. 10 points is nothing. We can win. We got Ben. Down 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. We got Ben. We can win. We can come back. Super Bowl 43. Larry Fitzgerald, long touchdown reception. But look at that. We still have 2.5 minutes to go in the game. That's a lifetime for Big Ben right there. And we got a ton of yardage to go right there too. And all 3 timeouts. That's a lifetime for Big Ben right there to conduct a 4th quarter comeback. And in that season, need I remind you, 6 come from behind victories that year for Big Ben that season. Now, I'm starting to get that sense with Kenny Pickett. Down 2 points in the 4th quarter. Yeah, we can win. Kenny Pickett's done it before. Down a touchdown in the 4th quarter. Yeah, we got Kenny Pickett. We can win. We need a game-winning drive. The other team just scored. We got 2-minute offense going. Yeah, we got Kenny Pickett. He's done it before. We can do it. You see what I mean? It all goes back to what I was saying before, that Kenny Pickett has it. Remember that phrase I said? The it factor. Playing with ice in your veins, liking the pressure, needing a comeback victory, wanting to play hero, like being the hero, like writing a story to guide your team and take the reins, being a leader. Kenny Pickett has that. You're not going to get that with Mitch Trubisky. You ain't going to get that with Mason Rudolph. Only time would have told if we could have gotten that with Dwayne Haskins. May the Lord rest his soul. But only time would have told that if we could have gotten that from Dwayne Haskins. But Kenny Pickett so far is proving that he does have that it factor. So I just want the non-believers down in the comments below. What could possibly go through your mind right now to where you think to yourself, Kenny Pickett's not the guy. Kenny Pickett's just not the answer. I don't feel confident with Kenny Pickett playing. What's your process? What's your thought process with that? Because time and time again, this guy has shown as a rookie, a 24-year-old rookie, need I remind you, that he doesn't need to light up the stat sheet. Are you just jealous because Joe Burrow can throw for 300 yards every game? Or, Tom Brady's 45 years old. He can still throw for 300 yards every game. And, Justin Herbert, he does that too. Or Patrick Mahomes does it. Are you trying to say that just because Kenny Pickett is not Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson or whoever, are you saying that because he's not one of them elite quarterbacks in the league that he's not the guy for us? Number one, that's completely unfair to Kenny Pickett. Because the second you say, "Oh, Kenny Pickett's not Pat Mahomes, he sucks. Oh, Kenny Pickett's not Joe Burrow, oh, he stinks. Oh, Lamar Jackson's way better than Kenny Pickett. Oh, he's not. Oh, Kenny Pickett will never make it." How is that fair to Kenny Pickett? So you're being completely unfair to him, number one. I would love it if Kenny Pickett was like Patrick Mahomes. I would love it if he was like Josh Allen. I would love it if he played like Lamar Jackson, if he used his legs like Lamar did. But here's the thing. He doesn't have to be like Josh Allen. You guys act like Josh Allen's and Patrick Mahomes's and Brett Favre's and Peyton Manning's and Big Ben's and Tom Brady's, or you name it. You act like once-in-a-lifetime generational quarterbacks just grow on trees. And they're easy to come by. Like, it's no problem to find it. I want Kenny Pickett to be the best version of himself that we can possibly get. I know he's thrown 9 interceptions this year. I know he only has 4 passing touchdowns this year. But here's the thing. He started the majority of the season for us. And number one, I can tell you right now, more than half of them interceptions aren't completely his fault. Yes, there were a couple really bad interceptions that he threw, but really, is it Kenny Pickett's complete fault that the offensive line kept taking penalties and it eventually led to a play where he threw an interception? Is that 100% on Kenny Pickett? Is it Kenny Pickett's fault that the receiver can't hang on to a ball that deflects off his fingertips and into a defense? How's that Kenny Pickett's fault? Now, it is Kenny Pickett's fault for a late read. It is Kenny Pickett's fault for staring down a receiver and not taking his eyes off of one guy. That leads to an interception. Those are his fault. But how is it his fault when he places the ball right in the receiver's hands, it deflects off him and it gets intercepted? How's that his fault? I want Kenny Pickett to be the best version of himself that we can possibly get. We know this guy's skill set. Big Ben used to use his legs too. Big Ben was not a mobile quarterback. But anytime Big Ben needed to use his maneuverability in the pocket or get a QB sneak or do anything else with his legs or extend plays, Big Ben was capable of doing that. He used his strength as his biggest attribute. Kenny Pickett and Big Ben are a little similar in the sense that they're tough and that they have ice in their veins when the chips are down. They are similar like that, but they use their legs for different reasons. And that's why I can't completely say they're the same quarterback, because they're not. They're similar, but they ain't the same. Like I said, Big Ben used his legs more so for his strength, because Big Ben was a hard guy to bring down. Yes, I know he's one of the most sacked quarterbacks of all time, but he was a very hard quarterback to tackle. Kenny Pickett uses his legs for a different reason. He uses it because he knows he can run a little bit better than Big Ben does. He can use his legs not so much for his strength, but to pick up chunks of yards. He can make himself into a downhill runner while not being a downhill runner, and he's a little bit more QB sneak friendly. So that's the thing I'm talking about when I say that they use their legs for different reasons. But any way you slice and dice it, the fact of the matter is, Kenny Pickett plays like a winner. And whether or not you like it, and whether or not you see it with this guy, the fact of the matter is, all he did last night was lead this team to a comeback victory. And playing in a tough city, a tough, proud city that loves their football team and the Pittsburgh Steelers and that fan base over there in Pittsburgh, who will, in a New York minute, as they say, that's an old phrase, not that Pittsburgh's in New York, but that's just a phrase. In a New York minute, they will turn on you when you're not doing well. They will boo you like the Jets fans did with Zach Wilson on Thursday night if you lost that game, especially the circumstances with Franco Harris. And they will especially boo you if you don't go out there and you give it your all. Going back to the 2005 divisional, Jerome Bettis fumbles the ball at the goal line. Nick Harper scoops it up. That's game over. Colts win. What does Big Ben do? Sacrifices his body, trips up Nick Harper when he promised the bus that he was going to win him a ring. And I have no doubt in my mind that if it ever came to that, Kenny Pickett would do that too. Because Kenny Pickett's a competitor. Kenny Pickett goes out there to win. He don't play to get even. He plays to win. And that's exactly what he did last night, is that he won us the most important game of the season for us. I don't anticipate this team making the playoffs. I don't. We lost too many games. We had a big losing streak. Nothing really went our way. I don't anticipate us making the playoffs. But I do anticipate if Kenny Pickett is going to start the remaining 2 games against Baltimore and Cleveland, that he has that same energy that he had last night. Which is why this coming draft, I mean, it seems like I say this every year about the Pittsburgh Steelers because different issues keep arising. This coming draft is very important. We need to beef up that left side of the offensive line. We need to get him another solid receiver. Depending if Calvin Austin really is a decent weapon for us and if the Ravens were rightfully mad that we took him from him. But we need to get another receiver for Kenny Pickett because our receivers are incredibly thin right now. We need another solid receiver. If Najee Harris is the answer at running back or if Jalen Warren is, I expect more of a running back by committee type of run game next year. But the fact of the matter is, any way you look at it, this draft is important because we know this guy can win us games and we anticipate him being the franchise QB. Kenny Pickett, well done last night, and you are the man. I don't give a crap what anyone else says. You are the man, Kenny Pickett, and I'm very proud of him. Let me know what you think down below. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the night. May God be with you all. Merry Christmas.